All right, here we go. Odds are kind of stacked against me, but I think I should still be able to pull off a pretty good homemade enchiladas. And I'll give you some instructions, my sonny boy. What I plan on doing is making some nice chicken enchiladas. It should be good. Show you how to make these corn tortillas so they don't disintegrate and fall apart on you. Quick and easy microwave method instead of cooking them in the pan. Generally, I would use some of those nice tomatoes I got from our garden in the fridge there and char them under the broiler with some slices of this onion and these jalapenos along with maybe some garlic or something. And then, use them in the blender to go towards the sauce. But since you probably aren't going to have that, I figured I would use some canned tomatoes. Got some with some chiles, although I got some chiles here. Some onions. I can still hook it up in the pan. I don't even got to char them in the pan. Just kind of cook them to get a little flavor rolling. We'll see how that goes. First, I'll cut these a little bit. Maybe take out some of the seeds and ribs. I'll chop these onions up a little. I don't really need to dice them, see how I'm going to blend them up anyway. And the tomatoes would be better if I charred them, but I don't need to do that. We're going to make it into a sauce in the blender, so I'll get that rolling. And then I'll cook the chicken in the pan that I did all this in so that it will kind of flavor the chicken. And I'll shred that and put it to the side. Alright, as you can see, I've chopped half of an onion up. Just large chop because it's going in the blender. I've already chopped a jalapeno, but I wanted to show you with the jalapeno. I just cut the end off, then slice it down the middle. That way you have that. And according to the spiciness you want, you could take the seed pod part out and maybe scrape out some of that, the membrane, the ribs or whatever. And just chop up the green part if you want it a little more mild, as you see. You see that little part, or you can actually take, get that off too, so it's just green. I think I'll leave, since I did that with this one, I'll leave the membrane in this one. And as you see, I left the membrane in there and some of the seeds. That'll lend some more heat. And to dice it up, what I do is I put it like that, and then I'll slice it into slivers, and then I'll turn them sideways and then slice them this way to make little cubes. As you see, now I'll just get this together, put it sideways like that, and now we'll cut this way. Voila! And there you have it. Alright, let me get that little bit of oil that I have in the bottom of this pan for frying this up, sauteing it. Get this hot and I'll get it going in there with a little bit of seasoning just to soften it up and get a little flavor to it, you know what I'm saying? Alright. Voila! We'll just have that kind of like on a medium high. Put some babies in there with some salt and pepper, etc., etc. And as you see, these ones have some chilies in there, so that'll be kind of spicy. So I'll add that, and I'll get these going, get these softened up and flavored. Let's get them over here. Yeah, buddy. Alright, and get this seasoned up with some of this SPOG, salt, pepper, garlic, and onion powder. Yeah, buddy. You know how it goes. Alright, as you see, I got that on there. I also put a little red pepper flake in there to add a little dimension. I suggest you use something to stir it with before you start trying to flip it the way I do. That takes a lot of practice. You don't want to throw your food all over the place or on you. It hurts. Maybe I'll find some herbs to put in here with it. Give it another layer of flavor, like some marjoram or oregano. Alright, I'll turn this down just under medium. I'm going to let that soften up a little bit so it gets a little translucent. So while that's happening, I'll get the chicken breast seasoned up. Oh man, I breathed in some of them damn chili pepper. It's in my lungs, it hurts. But, as you see, I had to put a little water in there and get it going. I think that's soft enough for what I'm trying to do. There's a little more seasonings. I put some homemade ancho pepper, ancho powder I made. Some guajillo powder I made along with some chipotle powder. And that chipotle powder is a bastard. My golly. But just a little bit of each. It adds quite a bit of flavor. So now I'll get that into this blender and then I'll put the tomatoes in there as well. Here's the consistency I got it to. I think that'll be good. Now we'll get it in the saucepan and reduce it. We'll add some other flavors to the mix. Tastes pretty good. It's got a nice little spice to it with those jalapenos and stuff. And all the other stuff I added. Let's get it over there and dump it. Yeah, buddy. Here we go. As you see, the chicken is in there cooking. Yeah, we just want to get it cooked all the way through so it'll be seasoned up good, but so it'll have flavor and it'll shred up nice. Chicken breasts don't take long to cook, so they'll be chilling in no time. Yeah. Usually in that, I would put a little bit of some like pineapple in there, like pureed pineapple chunks or whatever, and blend it right with the stuff. But I forgot to get some. It really sets off the whole like Mexican flavor, the sweetness of it and the little flavor of it. Adds that little, oh, what is that? And it counteracts all the spicy other flavors pretty well. It's a nice secret weapon. I didn't have that, so I took a little can of mandarin oranges, pureed the heck out of it, and now maybe I'll add it to this sauce until it gets to the taste that I kind of am looking for. I may put in like a teaspoon of cocoa powder. We'll see if we want to go that route. I don't know. Maybe I just want to go with the bright tomato flavor. Like you could even put like a little tablespoon of brown sugar in there. That molasses and the sweetness will add to the tomatoiness. I don't know. We'll see. Let's give it a little chug. We'll get it mixed up and see how that tastes. Alright, I did put a little salt in there. I put probably maybe about a couple tablespoons of brown sugar. And then I put probably about a teaspoon and a half or so of that cocoa powder. That will add a nice, rich, dynamic flavor to it. Kind of reminiscent of like southern Mexico, down in Yucatan Peninsula. Yeah, they use cocoa and stuff in their cooking quite a bit down there. Alright. Starting to richen up. Oh yeah, nice flavor blend. Flavor profile starting to happen. What we got over here? Alright. As you see, it's a bubbling away. It tastes really good. I added about maybe 3/4 of a cup of like real condensed like tomato sauce to it. Pureed tomato concentrate. Anyway, got it to about this consistency. I'm gonna let that percolate now, let those flavors mingle. And what the heck is that? I don't know. When in doubt, take it out. Alright, we're gonna let these flavors mingle for a while, and I'll get back at you. Hey, why don't I flip this chicken? These tongs. Get a nice little brown on there. I should have let it cook a little longer, brown up, but I could flip it back over. Oh yeah, you see that? Getting caramelization. Some nice caramelization. Oh yeah, buddy. More layers of flavor. Heck yeah, look at that, baby. Oh, steamboat. Oh. Alright. Put that top back on there and let that cook. Alright. We got this over here. Bubbling away. And let that condense. Let those flavors condense, baby. Let that reduce. And we'll be rolling up these tortillas in a minute. Put some nice melty cheese on there. Alright guys, it's looking like this chicken is about done. I'm going to shred it and let it rest right in the pan with the lid on. What we got going over here is looking good too. Tastes good. I guess it's time to get these tortillas ready. I'll show you my little trick I learned on the cooking show. Well, the trick is you take a brush, like a little, your cooking brush, and you just lightly brush oil instead of having to cook it in the oil briefly, to get these tortillas so they don't fall apart and disintegrate and they're all weak. What you do is you just take the brush a little oil on them, boom, stack it. Brush a little oil, stack it on there until you get them all brushed. And then I'll be stacking them right inside this Ziploc bag. And then you put it in the microwave on high for 1 minute. You don't seal it, you just have it in the bag. You don't seal the Ziploc. Then you let it rest for at least a minute. And that oil will absorb and make it strong enough to not fall apart and pliable, so we can roll them up into enchiladas or tacos or whatever. That's what I'm gonna get doing right now. As you see, I took 2 forks and I shredded this chicken up. Turn the heat off. So now what I'll do is I'll get some spoonfuls of this here sauce and I'll put it in there to flavor the chicken up a little bit. Maybe add a little more liquid, and I'll stir that around in there, just a little bit, just enough to. What I want to do is reconstitute all that caramelization off the bottom of the pan, because that's flavor. We'll get that foamed up off the bottom of that pan, and I'll tell you what, it'll be yummy in the tongue. Great filling for those enchiladas. Yeah, buddy. Here you go. Tastes delicious. I got all them little bits off the bottom of the pan. Got it shredded up good. That's gonna make a wonderful filling. I could turn this off really. Got this sauce done. Heck yeah. That's gonna go on top of those nice. Alright, this is how I do it. Just put a little layer on the top there, because the other one already has some on the top. So that'll touch the bottom of this one, and it'll have enough oil. You see? Like that. Put it over there. And then I'll take the whole stack and put it in there. As you see, I got them all done up. Time to get them in the bag. Alright, they're in the bag, and as you see, unzipped. Now to put them in the microwave on high for 1 minute. Then let it cool off for at least 1 minute. Alright folks, the tortilla thing worked, as you see. Look at, bend that in half, it didn't even snap or anything. Good deal. So I'm gonna take some of this shredded meat right here, get some on here, roll it up. Well, the gas regulator is messed up on my stove, so I can't put it in the oven. And so I figure all this stuff is done anyway. Hell, I'll roll the filling up in here, then I'll get like the layer of the sauce on there, and then put the nice melty cheese on the top. Hell, man, that's enchiladas. You don't gotta sit in the dang oven. It'll still be good. It might not be the exact deal, but hell, it's gonna be tasty. I'll be back after I get them rolled. I can't do this and hold the phone. Alright, I broke that little piece, but it don't matter. We'll get some of this sauce on there. Yeah, buddy. This will be Tyson's plate. Boy, I wish I would have made some like rice, Mexican rice to go with it. Shit. Let me go get some of that cheese. Yeah, buddy. Look at that. Enchiladas. Stovetop enchiladas. Yeah, I could sprinkle some herbs with some chives on the top there. Oh, wait, I got green onions. Hold up. Wait a minute. Alright, guys. A little knife work, and now we have some green onions, some scallions to sprinkle on there. See what he thinks of that. Alright, folks. I think that's going to be that. Hope you enjoyed the ride. You see me make this stuff right on the spot. Obviously, I could have did a little better, but, you know, you make do. You adapt and adjust and make do, and I think this going to be good. We'll see what they think. Alright, folks. Here you go. Here's a look at Amy's plate. Just done up. The cheese ain't even all the way melted yet. As you see, it's happening though. Yeah, buddy.